There is a concept on the internet known as the internet checkpoint. This is usually a YouTube video that has little or no thumbnail, no description, and has nothing to do with your usual recommended page. You never discover it, it discovers you. It simply shows up one day, and you happen to notice it, leading you to click on it. This is usually a calm instrumental video in which you have never heard the likes of it before. However, what is truly special is not in the video itself. If you were to scroll down into the comments, you would find thousands of people who stumbled on this video just as you have, and they have chronicled a major part of their recent lives, gladly exclaiming, "Checkpoint," which is a common phrase in video games used to signify a resting place or an accomplishment of a great task. One of the most iconic internet checkpoints is Toge Toge Taru Meiro Super Donkey Kong 2, although you may know it better as Stickerbush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2. As the calming music greets you, so does a secret community that celebrates each other's successes. While the original video was taken down due to a copyright strike, the video and many of its comments have been preserved as best as possible. This video, and many others like it, share a quiet legacy only to be discovered by those who seek it. Now, what exactly is a legacy? It could be described as the lasting impact of a person, object, or event. There are many people who have made a great difference in the world by doing simple things as well as magnificent things. Moments in history, ancestors, inventors, and many other things have made a difference in the world, even if just in a local town. However, as you can guess from the title and thumbnail of this video, this talk of legacy is focused on one group of people in particular. YouTubers. For some reason, a lot of YouTubers are retiring or have recently retired. At the time of the making of this script, SMG4, the creator of Veritasium, DugDug, and many others are stepping down from making videos in the same capacity. And other classic YouTubers such as Fred, a big icon in the early years of YouTube, and MatPat, the former host of Game Theory and its sister channels. This makes sense as many of them have tirelessly produced content for many years. But it is still hard to see them go. There is often a big send-off that they produce as a thank you to the people that have watched them. And millions of people flock to see these swan song performances. Seeing so many staples in the community leave to pursue other passions is bittersweet, but it is also bittersweet for the creators as well. First of all, creation has been their passion for many years, as they would not continue to create content if they did not enjoy it. And you can feel it in the way that the video experiences are crafted. They create so that others may be inspired, and that viewers can discover their own passions. And if you want help discovering your passion, then welcome to today's sponsor, nobody. I was just telling a joke that happened to also segue into our next point, livelihood. It was funny, right? When you get a large enough audience, you are opened up to the ability to receive monetization and sponsorships. For most of these creators, YouTube is their full-time job, so they get to do what they enjoy doing while also being able to provide for them and their families. However, when they grow big enough, they often expand to having employees, all the way from 1 or 2 editors to an entire team of editors, producers, researchers, and whatever else is needed for that type of content. The increase in staff multiplies the quality of the videos, but also requires an increase in viewership and monetization, creating a loop. This loop becomes hard to get out of because by quitting content creation, you end jobs for many people. That is why many YouTubers, such as MatPat and Veritasium, have passed their channels on to their team when they retire, rather than end production entirely. The final reason is apparent to viewers, as it is relatable, which is that it is hard to let go. For many of them, this has been a major part of their lives for many years. From 7 years in the case of DugDug, to over a decade in the case of MatPat, Veritasium, and SMG4. Stepping away from a main chunk of your life, and in a sense your identity as a person, is difficult. Perfecting your craft, especially creating content for entertainment, takes a lot of effort. With a strong connection to your videos and the online community that forms around it, making the choice to step down is hard. And on the viewer side, it hurts because a person who has entertained or educated you for years, who you may have looked up to, is gone. I have the terrible luck of discovering content creators shortly before they announced their plans on retiring. I had started watching MatPat for only about 6 months before he released Goodbye Internet. I had only watched Veritasium for a couple months, and I had started watching DugDug literally 2 weeks before his salute graced my homepage. As for SMG4, I had not watched it more than once or twice about 4 years ago, but I felt the same sense of sadness as I did the others. I have not spent as long of a time watching these people, and there may be other YouTubers who have retired that I do not know about. But I quickly grew a strong connection, and so severing that connection hurt me just as it had for those who had watched for years. People often take for granted opening up their webpage or app and seeing new videos from their favorite creators until retirement jeopardizes that reality. I want to now talk a little more about legacies. Everything that you do every single day shapes who you will become and what your legacy will be. Legacies are often considered to be large things, but many of them are small, though that does not undermine their importance. However, the truly inspiring legacies become something more: legends. Legends are mostly stories or events that were so impactful that they are passed on for generations, with the details slowly changing until they are no longer tales, but unobtainable masterpieces of storytelling. The original story may not be the same, but it has become a phenomenon that produces awe and wonder. The legacy of that event or person becomes intertwined with our reality. I often like to explain this with a ripple. When a water droplet hits a body of water, such as a lake, it falls in and it becomes a part of the larger counterpart. However, in doing so, the impact of the drop of water displaces the surrounding area, and a ripple is formed, spreading out more and more. Though the ripple gets shallower as it gets further and further away, the small movement spreads through the entire lake, almost imperceptibly, until the entire surface has been affected by one small drop of water. All legacies, both big and small, act like that water droplet, changing everything around it in small ways. One of the legacies that have affected me greatly comes from my grandfather. He always has a smile on his face when he is telling a story of an experience he has had, his children have had, or a friend have had, and he always loves to tell jokes. He also loves engineering and technology, and is the most enthusiastic person I know about cameras. He loves to tell you any random fact that he knows about any given subject at any given time. He may not be famous or an important person in society, but everyone who has interacted with him has been changed in minute ways, whether they recognize it or not. With all this discussion, we should end by talking once again about internet checkpoints, which is the phenomenon of a video that randomly shows up when you most need it. You often discover a community who gather around this video with the common goal of celebrating the successes of their lives and the lives of others. In truth, this has been connected to our main points this whole time. One day, you may stumble upon a channel that you have never heard of. You never found it, it found you. You start watching it, and you begin to enjoy or even become fascinated by it. You begin to look forward to new uploads and connect to the community slowly. For everyone, that was a different channel, but the emotions are similar. Whether that channel was The Game Theorists, Doug, Veritasium, SMG4, or some other, your bond to that segment of the internet is strong. But like a masterfully written story, all good things must come to an end. People grow old or move on. Experiences fade. And yes, the YouTubers who have provided entertainment and education for years must all eventually retire from their passion-filled pastime. As they bid their final farewells, hang up their hats and jackets, and move on to their next big accomplishments, the community built around the videos and the experiences bittersweetly cheer them on in a celebration. It may hurt to see close ones leave, even those connected virtually, but we still celebrate. I am not a big or even a moderately sized YouTuber right now, so I can only hope that this may be my fate one day. However, I hope that I can leave a good impression on those who randomly stumble upon me, and that I make a positive impact on the world, just as the creators of yesterday and today have done for me and for everyone else who has experienced it. And in the microscopic chance that one of the people that I have discussed today sees this video, I simply say to you, thank you. And to the rest of you, thanks, my friends, for watching.